the final part of this exercise or this assignment or the project is to start printing from model space. Now we have two ways to print from AutoCAD. One of them is a model space, which is printing from the screen that you just drew on, and the other one is layout. I'm going to explore layout more, as we said, in subsequent maybe assignment or in the advanced course. But for now, we're going to be using model space to print from. Model space is where you basically draw your project. The layout is sometimes called paper space. Okay, so in our assignment, or in this part of the assignment, we're going to be printing from model space, which is the screen that we see in front of us. So I'm just going to right click here on the model space, and right clicking is going to generate a list of options. Now, once I right click, there are two things that we're going to be using is the page setup manager and the plot. The one that we need to click on right now is page setup manager, because this is going to set up the page size and other characteristics that we need. So we're going to click on page setup manager, and once I do that, it will ask you to, this is the current page, which is the model space, and this is showing some important information. Now, the device name or the plotter name, we don't have that right now because we're printing to PDF, and the plot size is 8.5 by 11. This is one of the things that we need to see. What is the size and how are we going to change that? Now, one of the things that I will do is that I'm going to click on modify. So I'm modifying the some of the elements here, and that's why I'm going to click on modify. So I'm going to click on modify here. And once I click on that, this is the page setup that is going to come up. The very first thing that we need to set up is a plot style. Now, I know that you have a different plot style assigned to you, which is, I think, the CAD something, and we don't have that anymore. So the one that we're going to be using is the acad.ctb. Okay. And once it's asking us to assign it to everything, yes, that's what we want to do. So if you click that, and this is a display to all the layouts, I'm going to click yes for now. The very first thing that we need to change from here is the name. All right, so I'm going to click here, and one of the things that we want to do is that we want to change this to DWG to PDF, because basically we're printing to PDF, and when you print to PDF and then you want to print that from your printer or at home or from a plotter that you're going to be plotting at, you're printing the PDF file that is actually does have the right scale. Okay, so DWG to PDF is here. And the paper size, if you click on the drop down, you have a lot of paper sizes. Now, since we are dealing with maybe you want to plot, you want to see the result of your work. So I will assume that all of you guys have the 8.5 by 11 inches. I mean, the letter size. Okay, if you have a bigger plotter, then you might actually print according to 11 by 17 inch, which is right here, 11 by 17 inch. So that's one of the sizes that you can use. You can use this size. This is the size we're going to be using right now, right? And we finished with the paper size. Now, we have to be careful about something, which is in this area. If I click fit to paper, this means that I don't have a scale assigned to this. And since we are using metric, okay, we are using the metric system, we actually need to uncheck that, and we need to make sure that the units that we are using in here are set to millimeters. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to change that to millimeters. Right now, custom means that, you know, it's whatever that is displayed, it's going to be printed, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be printed to scale. So we really want to make sure that we click here and we select something that we can print to in metric. So usually the metric system spans from 1 to 100 to 1 to 50 to 1 to 40. And I don't know what is the scale that is going to enable me to fit the kitchen floor plan on the paper that is 8.5 by 11. So what should I do? It's actually a trial and error type of, first of all, we need landscape. Okay, so landscape has to be selected. And I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna try different scenarios here. Maybe if I put to 1 to 150, and we'll see how this is gonna look like. The next thing that I want to do is what to plot. If you click on the drop down arrow here, you have extents. This is, by the way, the how extensive you can your screen is at, which means that how big that the screen is. You have limits, which are your drawing limits that you set before. I don't recommend that because we're going to extend our drawing limits later. So this might not be the right selection. And there is window. If I click on window here, it's going to ask me to go back and select exactly create a window. So I clicked and drag like that, and then I clicked again. And once I click, okay, I am back to the drawing area. Now you can see that in the preview, it seems that the scale that I used is small and it's not centered. Okay, so I selected with a window from what to plot. I selected the area that I want to plot or to print, which is the floor plan. And then, it's displaying here the preview that, I don't have the floor plan centered. So how to center it? We have here something called center the plot. So I'm going to click on center the plot, and this is how it looks like. Now, the 1 to 50 seems to be fine. It's fitting in the drawing area. I chose window, and then I created a window. And after creating a window, I centered the plot. Now, how does this look like? How's it going to be printed? The final thing is we can see how it's going to be printed if I clicked on preview. So if I click on preview here, this is how the floor plan is going to be printed. As you can see, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. You can see that the line weight that we have assigned previously, remember all of the line weights that we have assigned previously are actually displayed now. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to right click and exit here. And one of the things that I will do, I actually don't want to, this is one of the things that I want to do is to make this bigger a little bit so I can see if there is there's a chance that the floor plan is displayed with a bigger value. So I'm just going to click here and maybe at 1 to 20. Now, if I clicked on 1 to 20 and you can see that the margins are red, are turning red, this means that some parts of the drawings are not exactly fitting within this area. And if you want to take a closer look, I'm going to click on preview. Okay, and you can see that it's, some parts are cut off. So I'm going to right click and exit. Okay, and you might ask, why is there's a part here where the tile that we created is not displayed. It's because it's on the 0 layer, whatever in the 0 layer, it's not going to be displayed. So that's why. If you want it to be displayed, you can move it into another layer, or you can totally remove it. I just showed you ways to do hatching by it. So if you don't want to, you can assign it to the eye pattern, eye fold pattern. So you can put it in the same layer where the hatching inside of the floor plan walls are. But don't worry about it, because if it's placed on this, it's not going to be visible on this layer. So now 1 to 20 is, it's very big, and 1 to 40, 1 to 50 is actually it's small. So how about if we kind of go between 1 to 40? 1 to 40 actually works really well. And if I click on preview, okay, that's not bad. All right. So that's actually good size. And I'm going to right click and exit. Now, once I figure out this size, and the size is actually good for me, all I have to do is just click on OK. So if I click on OK, okay, and then I click on close, this should make this printed. All right, so I'm going to go again here and plot that and continue to plot a single sheet, which is this. Okay, and now after everything is set to me from plotting, I'm going to click OK. And if they're saying that the annotation scale is not equal, always continue. That's fine for now, and click on continue. And now they are going to ask you from plot. Again, I'm just going to do this again so you can see it. Is that right click, and then we set up everything in the page setup manager. I'm going to click on plot here and continue to plot a single sheet. And because we set everything before from the page setup manager, I'm going to click on OK. And we're going to put this on the documents. So that's, for example, my galley kitchen model. It's in PDF. I'm going to click on save. Okay, and this is how your drawing is going to look like. Okay, so definitely if you want, you can share this as well with, you can send this as a PDF with the DWG file that you're going to be submitting for the assignment.